What is different about your product?
You got a story to tell. Something gonna connect to somebody else.
How to actually run a business versus having a vision for a business.
A lot of people come to me and they say they're scared to take that next leap.
Visual design is always going to be driven by the vision.
And I just was like, how do I do this?
What am I adding that they don't have?
Hey, brand builders, ready to take your brand to the next level? I'm Dana Ammons, and welcome to the Brand Blueprint.
Hello, I'm Heloise Lanoix, and welcome back to the Brand Blueprint case study, where we look at examples of the successes and failures of companies when it comes to implementing the 9 pillars of successful brands. For this capsule, we are focusing on a huge milestone for companies, creating a brand identity and positioning the brands for success on the market. For the first part of our case study, we will take a look at the classic example of brand identity and positioning success. Apple Inc. Apple Inc., a name synonymous with innovation, elegance, and cutting-edge technology, stands as one of the most iconic and influential companies in the global business landscape. However, that wasn't always the case. In the mid-90s, Apple Inc. was struggling financially and lacking a foothold in the tech industry. How did they manage to redefine their brand identity and position themselves as the titan they have become today? The 1997 Think Different campaign played a crucial role in redefining Apple's identity by shifting public perception from a struggling tech company to an innovative leader in creativity under the visionary leadership of Steve Jobs, who had returned to Apple after a period of absence.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
It still stands today as one of the most memorable and impactful marketing initiatives in the history of the company. The Think Different campaign effectively positioned Apple as a brand that aligns itself with individuals who challenged conventions, inspired innovation, and embraced creativity. It resonated deeply with consumers who identified with the idea of using Apple products as tools to express their own unique ideas and visions. This ethos has become deeply embedded in Apple's brand culture, influencing product design, advertising strategies, and consumer relationships, ultimately contributing to Apple's remarkable success and status as one of the most valuable brands in the world. Apple is the classic example of good brand positioning because they have managed to stay true to their identity while adapting to changing times and the new generations of users. Examples of this are the 2015 Shot on iPhone campaign, which highlighted the quality and versatility of the iPhone's camera system by featuring real-world examples of photos and videos taken by iPhone users from around the world, effectively turning ordinary consumers into brand ambassadors while emphasizing the creativity and self-expression Apple enables.
This is our love, this is our trust, this is our daughters, this is our sons, give me back my wings. Oh, so this is our message, this is our faith, this is our voice, this is our names, this is our win, this is our fail, this is our story, this is our tell, our tell.
A more recent example was the Creativity Goes On campaign, launched during the COVID pandemic, which highlighted the resilience of creativity during challenging times and resonated with a wide audience by conveying a sense of inspiration amidst adversity. Incidentally, this saved them from disruptions in their traditionally in-person product launches and retail experiences as well. Through commitment to their identity and values, Apple has created a brand that people trust and are loyal to. This level of brand identity is what all companies should aspire to. One prominent example of a brand that failed due to poor brand identity is BlackBerry. Once a leader in the smartphone market, BlackBerry's decline is often attributed to its inability to maintain a strong and relevant brand identity, particularly in the face of changing consumer preferences and competitive pressure from brands like Apple and Android. BlackBerry built its early success by focusing on corporate customers with its secure email and messaging platform.
Well past its prime era, many people held out from switching over to a completely touchscreen smartphone, seeing keyboardless phones as undesirable. But in 2007, everything changed.
And we are calling it iPhone.
However, as smartphones evolved into lifestyle devices catering to both business and personal use, BlackBerry failed to transition from being an enterprise phone to a more versatile consumer brand. While Apple was promoting itself as a brand for creatives, innovators, and everyday consumers with emotionally compelling ads, BlackBerry's messaging was inconsistent and focused too much on enterprise features that didn't resonate with younger, tech-savvy audiences. Sticking with its iconic physical keyboard for too long didn't help. This made the brand feel outdated, and it failed to capture the imagination of the growing consumer market that sought sleek, modern, app-centric devices. By the time BlackBerry attempted to appeal to both corporate and consumer markets, its brand identity became muddled. It was no longer seen as the go-to device for business professionals, and it couldn't effectively compete with Apple or Samsung in the consumer space.
BlackBerry desperately tried to stay afloat by flooding the market with products. In the same time period it took Apple to release 4 iPhones, BlackBerry released over 30 unique devices.
This left the brand without a strong identity in any segment. In an attempt to revitalize its image, BlackBerry made several changes to its corporate identity, including changing its name from Research in Motion, RIM, to BlackBerry. While this was intended to streamline the brand, it did little to address the deeper issues of product relevance and innovation, and it only added to the confusion for some users. BlackBerry's brand identity failure stemmed from its inability to evolve with the changing smartphone landscape, confusing product strategy, weak marketing, and resistance to innovation. They went from being a market leader to an irrelevant player, largely because they couldn't define the brand to meet the demands of modern consumers.
The moment had came and gone, so to speak. And so we made that pivotal shift to a software-only company and focus on security and cyber and things of that sort.
This lack of a clear and adaptable brand identity ultimately led to its downfall. And today, BlackBerry serves as a cautionary tale of how quickly a brand can lose its standing when it fails to evolve. That's it for this capsule's case study. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Heloise Lanoix, and see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on the Brand Blueprint journey. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms to stay updated. Watch the full episodes on our YouTube channel for an in-depth experience. Don't forget to subscribe to our website at thebrandblueprint.biz for exclusive content and materials. We're everywhere you need us to be.